Welcome back to episode 3. That would be 2, that's 3, of season 2 of Office Hours with yours truly in partnership with The Loft. Today, I want to discuss the mighty dollar in connection or within the context of financial services innovation and fintech innovation. And my question is the dollar going to remain the one reserve currency in absolute terms? Or is there going to be a change? I want to get you down memory lane, right, first. We've had various fintech innovation waves happening to us. And paradoxically, at least that's what I think, it's what other people within the industry think, the innovation didn't lead to change. There was something in the quote-unquote physical world that led to innovation starting to disrupt and change things. So for example, in the US, the Durbin Act, which defined the type of fees that one can append to a transaction with a debit card, is deemed to have opened the first waves of fintech innovation, and not innovation per se. That's very important. In Europe and in the European Union, PSD2 kind of like open up open banking, as opposed to someone coming up and saying, I'm going to create an API and I'm going to create the open banking movement. No, it was legislation that led to innovation. And so when I think about the dollar and the reserve currency that is the dollar, which is not a trivial aspect of the financial services industry and of the types of technologies that we look into in the fintech world, right? I ask myself, well, certainly technology is not going to change the dollar as a reserve currency. Technology might help with like different types of reserve currencies. And indeed, in the crypto world, a lot of maximalists believe that either Bitcoin or Ethereum could act as one reserve currency linked to the dollar or not. There's still a jury that is out there and debating this. No, what I mean is, there is another physical aspect that has happened recently. Everyone will, not argue with this. We have a war going on and Russia invading Ukraine, and there are ripple effects off of that. Assets of Russian oligarchs have been seized, and I think that hasn't gone unnoticed. Certain people are saying, well, if you can seize assets so easily in a dollar-denominated world, people are going to think twice about putting their assets in a European bank or in a US bank where the US federal government has a reach. And so that might open for an opportunity for other types of currencies to serve as a reserve currency. Indeed, China and Russia are trying to do that and to decouple themselves from the dollar. And so I think that physical event, right, that war, may impact in relative terms the domination of the dollar. And that will in turn have an impact on fintech stacks and innovation. We may enter a world where you have fintech innovation that is very specific to Europe, somewhat linked to the US, and then in the other parts of the world, in the Middle East, in the Far East and China, or in Russia and other countries, that fintech stack and that innovation will be drastically different. For the issuance of assets, for payments, and what type of payment currency is being used, and so on and so forth. So I think that's potentially a very momentous and historical event that we're seeing and witnessing, even though I certainly do not believe in the complete demise of the dollar and the fact that, the majority of payments throughout the world and transactions are denominated in dollar, and that's not going to change. But we might be confronted with a brave new world going forward, and that warranted, me dedicated one video cast to this subject. I hope that you enjoyed that third episode, and I will see you soon for our next episode. Thank you.